Hello and welcome to the Tank Club. In this video we're going to be looking at what are the best in slot, aka BIS, echoes you should be using in your Wayfinder build. We'll look at where you can farm them and which ones are worth fusing. First, let's take a look into fusing. One thing I hate doing in any game is wasting my time. I also hoard everything because I don't want to miss out on something I might need later in the game. When it comes to echoes, I've been exactly the same. So I've been hoarding them and I didn't want to waste any of the materials by fusing them if they weren't the best in slot and purple quality. So I've done a couple of tests to see how much waste you get when you fuse echoes. Basically, if you take an echo and spend other echoes to fuse it and level it up, you will level up that echo and it will increase your character's power rating and stats. Let's say to level up a blue echo to max, we have this bloodletter echo for example. Now it has an XP value of 1350. If we place a 831 XP echo into it to level it up and we fuse it, then it becomes a 2020 XP echo. So we lost about 161 XP, which is just over 10% of the XP value. So if you are kind of short of time and you don't want to farm the purple echoes, I would personally say it is kind of worth upgrading blue echoes until you can get the purple. So this maxed out bloodletter echo is worth 5,546 XP at max, but it costs around 6,250 to level it up from 0 to full. So there's very little waste for the good initial gain to stats and power that you're going to get, while you spend potentially hundreds of hours farming for the purple versions of the echoes. So I would just fuse these at blue quality until you can get the purple, and then fuse the blue ones into the purple once you've got enough of them to cover your whole build. So let's move on to what are the best in slot echoes for each type. I'm not going to dive too much into rush echoes because a lot of them are down more to playstyle and focus, but we'll take a look at all of the stat boosting echoes. For the vast majority of the echoes, you're going to want to farm Hollow Heart Expedition. And you'll do this because you get most of the best in slot echoes from this one. So there's quite a few Hollow One, Hollow Horror, Talon, Bloodletter, Wolf, Rhyme Mistress. There's loads and loads of echoes here that are going to be really good. So this is a great expedition to farm. Some of the really good looking echoes are currently not available in the game. So we're listing just the best that are currently available. It's also worth noting that these are best in slot echoes because they drop at the highest level. So there's level 20 plus echoes because these are in the end game, the hardest content. The higher level echoes that you have, the bigger stats you have typically as well. But they also sometimes have multiple stat benefits. So you don't just get ability power, you get ability power plus max health. So you have two things tied in there that make these really, really strong. For some situations, you may not be able to slot a full stack of best in slot echoes if you don't have the capacity to do so. Especially if you don't have the purple maxed out echoes yet. It's possible to also go over the echo capacity by slotting an echo and then upgrading it, although this is a known bug that will eventually be patched. So let's take a look at attack echoes. There are a few different options for attack echoes depending on whether you're focusing on weapon power or ability power. At the moment, the best method of pushing damage is typically to focus on one or the other, and crit is generally not as important at the moment, but you can have some use on certain characters and different setups with Venom or Nis. Characters that have really fast, quick, short bursts of damage will benefit greatly from crit, but you're also going to need weapon power or ability power along with the crit. So for this purpose, I'm not really going to talk too much about the crit ones because they're not as important at the moment as weapon power and ability power. So the attack ones that we've got going are Bloodletter. Bloodletter is weapon power and break power. These are great echoes for weapon power stacking. There's not really anything much better than these. You're going to find these from any of the Reaver Woods expeditions, so it's worth taking a look into those. If you are an ability power stacker, then you want to go for the Hollow One. So these are the best ones to use if you are stacking ability power. You'll have to do the Hollow Heart Expedition specifically for these ones, and those are really, really strong. Now, if you did want to add in a bit of crit power, you've got the Talon Echo. This one's ability power and crit power. So if you do want to boost that crit a little bit and utilize it with an AP build, then you would go with Talon. Moving on to guard echoes, we've got Frostbeak Echo, which is going to give max health plus physical defense. These are the best ones because you get a large chunk of health, but you get the extra benefit of the defense. So even though defense isn't actually super important in the game at the moment, it's still the best echo to use on the guard slot because it will give you a lot of health with the additional benefit of physical defense. Moving on to balance echoes, and we've got the hollow horror echo with weapon power and resilience. This is a really good weapon power one, but it's also going to add that bit of survival in there as well with the resilience. If you don't have these, Hobgoblin can be used for a bit of extra health instead. If you wanted to go down the health route instead of resilience, you could use those, but hollow horror is going to be the best option. And you can obviously find these from the Hollow Heart Expedition as well. If you are an ability power stacker, then Goblin Seer is going to be the one. This gives ability power plus magic defense. Mag defense isn't super useful, but it's basically an extra free benefit to go alongside with that ability power. For cross echoes, we've got the Shroud Stalker, which is a weapon power plus mag defense. This will give you that weapon power, again, nice chunk of weapon power, the magic defense. This is the best one for weapon power, but if you wanted to improve your survival, then you could use Bone Stomper instead, which will give you quite a bit less weapon power, but a ton more max health. So if you wanted to go down a more survival route, then that would be a really good option. You've also got Old Yurtos, which is weapon power and break power. It's mega strong, but also mega expensive. So it's only really worth slotting if you've got it purple and maxed out to lower its cost for slotting, because it's super expensive. So you're going to find it really hard to probably squeeze this in, but it is going to give you so much weapon power that if you can get it on, then use it on your build. But a lot of people actually struggle to slot these. For our ability power stackers, Hollow Queen is really good. This one gives a massive amount of AP along with max health as well. As I mentioned, I'm not really going to go into rush echoes because those are things that you're going to switch around depending on your playstyle, depending on the things that you're looking to achieve. They've all got very unique and different benefits, so you need to look through those yourself and see which one sounds the most useful for you. Those are my top echoes in Wayfinder. What are your favourite echoes to use? Especially if you're a crit user, let me know in the comments below. For more Wayfinder content, check out my website, thetankclub.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.